Uh, Welcome all of you to the AC missions class. This is the unit 1 3-phase induction motor, lecture number 7. In this video we are going to see the measurement of slip. Actually we discussed already the slip, what is the slip, and then how it is working, how it is helping the induction motor to rotate, and then we discussed the torque slip characteristics, how the slip is relating with the frequency, current, power factor, and everything we discussed. And now we are going to see how we can measure the slip. So this is the two thing. One is tachometer method, another one is by comparing rotor frequency and stator frequency we can measure the slip. This is the actual measurement method of motor speed. Usually we will use the tachometer to measure the motor speed, and then we know the synchronous speed. If we apply the value of rotor speed and synchronous speed, we can calculate the slip value. Okay, this is the one of the method. In this method requires measurement of actual motor speed n and calculation of synchronous speed ns. N is measured with the help of speedometer, tachometer, and ns is calculated from the supply frequency. We know the ns formula. Ns equal to 120f divided by p. Okay, from that formula we can find out the synchronous supply frequency, and then we can find out the speed of the synchronous speed. Okay, that stator speed we can find out, and then the ns n value, the rotor speed, will be measured by the tachometer. By using this equation, after measuring the speed of the rotor, we can use this formula s equal to ns minus n into 100. Actually the formula will be like this, s equal to n s synchronous speed minus actual rotor speed divided by synchronous speed. For finding in a percentage, we will mention by the slip by percentage or per unit. So we will multiply with 100. Second thing is by comparing rotor and stator supply frequencies. Okay, by the while we deriving the rotor frequency, we saw this relation. Okay, Fr equal to S into F, which means we want to find out the rotor frequency. If you multiply the supply frequency with the slip, you will get if you multiply the slip with the supply frequency. So here we can calculate the S. Here we can calculate by the ratio between Fr by F. If you bring the F this side, the equation will be Fr by F. So we can find out the F by some methods, and then Fr by some method. F will be 50 Hz. Okay, so by using that we will measure the slip value. In slip ring motor, okay, here see the diagram. In slip ring motor, there is a slip ring will be there. In that slip ring, in between the slip ring, there will be some voltage drop in brushes and the resistance. Okay, there is a voltage drop. in the brushes. So if we connect a millivoltmeter, in between the brush, what will happen? That voltage drop will be shown here, the millivoltmeter. So it will oscillate. So based upon that oscillation, we can count and we can calculate the frequency. Usually we know rotor frequency will be very less, 1.5 to like that only it will be there. So in the current in millivoltmeter, follows the variations of the rotor current, and then the pointer oscillates from the mean zero position. So how many complete cycles there the pointer is moving, so per second we will calculate. So how many time it is moving, so that is the frequency. Here it is mentioned clearly. So if it is moving from 0 to the maximum value and then come back to 0, and then again going to maximum value and then come back to 0, so like that how many time it is going. Okay, so based on that we can calculate the rotor frequency value. There we in slip ring induction motor we saw that in between slip ring we connect the millivoltmeter. Here in squirrel cage motor there is no possibility for connecting in between brush, because in squirrel cage there is no slip ring or no brush. So what we need to do, we have to connect in the two end of the motor, to end of the rotor we have to connect as shown in figure. If we connect like that, so that the millivoltmeter it will show the reading and the oscillations. Based upon that we can calculate. And then another method also there, we can use a coil. If you use a large flat coil with many turns, okay, large flat coil with many turns, if we keep in center of the machine in non-driving end, okay, actually in one end there will be the driving materials, we will be it will be connected. One end it won't be any driving load. So that area, that end we can connect this large flat search coil. What will happen when this motor rotating, okay, how we are getting the rotor EMF same like that, then this coil also the EMF will be induced. That voltage can be, okay, shown in the reading in millivoltmeter. Okay, sometime the leakage flux, because of the leakage flux only the reading will come in the millivoltmeter. Sometime what will happen, it is a very large 50 hertz. If it is 50 hertz, you just think per second 50 times it will go and come back. So how much fast it will be. So if it is happen like that, it will affect the voltmeter, it will affect the millivoltmeter. Okay, it will be too fast, too rapid. So that is little not good one. And some other slip indicators like a search coil and low pass filter amplifier. In low pass filter, that filter will allow only the low frequency. So rotor frequency is low, then we can identify the low frequency, that rotor frequency we can identify. Okay, and then we can use a bridge circuit for comparing stator and rotor current frequencies also. So by using these methods also we can measure the slip. Okay, so in this lecture we saw the um, measurement of slip in two methods. One is tachometer method, another one is comparing the stator and rotor frequencies. In stator and rotor frequency method, there is two things. One is in slip ring motor, we connect in the slip, we connect between the two slip rings by using the voltage drop between the brush. We can find out the oscillation, and then based on that we can calculate the rotor frequency. In squirrel cage induction motor, we can calculate by using the we can connect in the end to end of the motor. Otherwise we can use the flat coil with many turns, that non-driving end, and then we can use the low pass filter, and then we can use the bridge circuit. Okay, so this is the reference book, ELBL Thereja Electrical Technology Volume 2. Okay, so these are the things in measurement of slip. Thank you.